Good morning. Welcome to the Parenting Versus podcast. Yeah, we're podcasting for the first time in a while.
Yeah, we've been on the road for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of good to be home. The kids were noticeably happier.
Speak for yourself.
What's that?
I feel like the road life is for me.
It is good to be home.
I mean, I guess. I like to wander, so.
Yeah, me too, but can you hold this?
Maybe my home is the open road, Lorenzo.
Mm-hmm. No, I did enjoy exploring and being on the road and stuff, but you're not happy to be home?
I don't know. I mean, I am and I'm not. Like, I am because it's familiar, but I'm not because it's familiar.
You're so complex.
I know.
I'm not sure if I understand you.
Really?
What? No, like what you just said.
I don't like routine. Routine is boring to me. It's very boring. And so I like that feeling of like not knowing what each day is going to bring, or not knowing what you're going to see or where you're going to go, and seeing new landscapes and just like, I don't know.
The surprises can be stressful too, though.
I guess.
Like, I don't know, there were a couple of moments when we were trying to figure out what to do when...
Like when our 4-year-old fell into a cactus in Joshua Tree.
Mm-hmm.
We like get out for this nice like scenic view in Joshua Tree. It's like this little pull off and it's beautiful, like rocks and stuff. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm still adjusting to being here. And our 4-year-old like woke up from a nap and was cranky as hell, and then we got out of the car and he was just like not having it, and then he got so mad he lost his balance and fell into a cactus.
Didn't he fall into two? Like,
yeah.
He fell into one.
He fell into one, caught his balance, and then fell backwards into another one. It was not cool. Thankfully, we're parents, and we have a lot of Band-Aids on hand, and he rinsed out his little wound with water and went on our merry way without a family picture that we were trying to get.
Yeah. So we spent a lot of time in a very dry, very hot desert. The desert of southwest Utah. That's when we first hit that desert, which is lower elevation, lower altitude. Well, it was St. George. It was the first time it got really hot. Then we spent the next week or so in...
wandering the desert.
In the... just the depths of the desert.
Well, so our route was... We left Albuquerque, went to Denver for the 4th of July, spent some time with friends up there. From Denver, we drove to Utah, Salina, Utah, which is in the middle of nowhere. Really pretty country out there. Just
so
in the middle of nowhere.
We also drove through it was I-70 from Denver to Utah. But that drive from Denver to Utah, like through the Eisenhower Tunnel and like that, that's an intense strip of road.
Yeah.
I looked this up because I record just really strange things that make sense to me, but nobody else. But one of those things is altitudes.
It feels humid here.
It does. It rained last night.
I want the fan on.
You want the fan on?
It's so hot.
But I have this altitude app, this elevation app, and every so often I was just taking screenshots of that altitude. And I looked back on it when we got back, and in the Eisenhower Pass, we were over 3,000 meters.
That's near the Continental Divide.
Yeah. It was about 11,000 feet above sea level. So that's higher than Sandia Peak. It's just insane. And I looked a little bit further, and I guess it's the highest point in the interstate network.
Ah,
so
very interesting.
Little bit of tidbits. So look, with that rest stop we stopped at, where everybody was just biking around, all the semi trucks. That's an 11,000 foot rest stop. Basically, it's like on top of a mountain.
So we went to Utah, and then from Utah, we spent a night in Las Vegas, which was actually surprisingly really fun with kids. I had serious doubts about Vegas with kids. I was like, okay, this is going to be so frustrating. Like, I'm going to want to do all the Vegas stuff, but we have 3 kids with us. But surprisingly, there is a lot to do in Vegas with kids. We walked around downtown Vegas and did a bunch of things, and bought tickets to the Mandalay Bay Aquarium and took the kids to that. And then our tickets, they told us the next day, got us into the pool at Mandalay Bay. So we did that.
It's the Mandalay Bay Beach.
Yeah.
So it's like a wave pool. You weren't here when the beach water park was here, but they had a wave pool. It was similar.
That's not what we're talking about right now. I'm trying to talk about Vegas.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, it was really cool. There was a lot to do there. I didn't expect there to be so much for kids and families. We took them to the Rainforest Cafe, which was cheesy, yes, but it's like an experience for them that I know they're going to like remember. Lorenzo hated it. He's giving me dirty looks right now.
I didn't hate the Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, it was hard to tell if you liked it or not because you were really quiet.
No, it was fine.
The whole time.
It was fine.
It was fine. Okay, he hated it.
No, I didn't.
Okay. So then we left Vegas after swimming and just relaxing and got to Palm Springs. And that's my favorite place, me personally, because I've been there several times and my grandparents live there, and it's just, to me, it's beautiful. It's also relaxing. It's kind of my personal sanctuary for R&R. And it's very hip, but that's beside the point. So then we did Palm Springs. We went to Laguna Beach one of those days and went up to the courthouse where we got married and took some pictures. Lorenzo has no input on that, I guess. What are you looking at?
Nothing. I'm just listening to you.
Oh, okay. You just seem like you're kind of zoning out a little.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. Well, we went to Laguna Hills. We took a picture, kind of a 10-year anniversary picture for us, and that was fun. And went to the beach, and there was like 7-foot swells, and we hung out a little bit, but we had to leave. The waves were really, really crazy, and it was high tide, so that they were coming in really fast, and we were running out of beach. So eventually we left, and then we spent a couple days in Phoenix, and then yesterday we drove home back to Albuquerque. So we've been all over the place, and it's been fun. We survived. Everybody's intact. We made it.
It's been fun. So what are you listening to?
What am I listening to?
I'm just kidding. But that's not until the end of the podcast.
Oh, okay. K Flay has a new album.
We'll save
which
it.
I'm excited
We'll
about.
save it for the end.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I don't know, it was an experience for both of us.
Phoenix is too hot, guys.
You keep saying that, and then you keep expressing love for Palm Springs. Palm Springs was literally like 5 degrees hotter.
I don't know why it is, but I can tolerate Palm Springs. I like the environment and the atmosphere. Phoenix is like the city itself. I'm like, nah, there's not enough here to make me want to live here that I like.
I'm the same way as far as Phoenix is concerned, but I'm also the same way as far as Palm Springs is concerned. I agree. Like Palm Springs, there's a draw to it. Like the architecture, I was admiring the architecture. It's very so. I studied architecture for.
People come from all over the world.
I studied architecture for a little bit at UNM. And some of the examples of like buildings, the ones I liked the most were the ones that had these long, straight lines, long, straight horizontal lines, like stacked on other horizontal lines, like lots of ledges and just angles and things like that.
It's mid-century modern.
Not a lot of curves. Okay. Not a lot of curves, things like that. Like I like that. I'm drawn to that type of architecture. So, and Palm Springs has a lot of that. People like it. They're building things there. Lots of new development, like when we were there. But I can't handle heat like that. Even sometimes in Albuquerque when it gets pretty hot, like 95. my body like shuts down. I don't know.
The beauty of that is there's air conditioning and misters.
I'm an outside person though. It's weird. You get a little bit defensive when I talk about Palm Springs. 'Cause I like it. I think it's a beautiful.
Someday when you die and I'm a widow, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there dying myself. I'm gonna be an old lady. I'll be a leathery old ass Palm Springs lady in my mid-century modern house.
I'm glad you're looking forward to my death.
My margarita. No, I would love to enjoy that with you, but I know it's never gonna happen. So it's gonna have to be when you're not around, I guess.
Okay. Palm Springs is fine. It's a good city. It's a neat town. Like I think it's pretty, and that mountain range that's to the west of the city I think is really pretty, and it's close to LA. Like we drove to the beach in a day. Like we made it a day trip. I think those are all fine, but the deserts of the Southwest
have no oceans near them.
No, like that included. That is the Southwest desert. That and Arizona and into Utah, the lower elevation deserts where basically you look out and it's beautiful. Like I'm not saying it's not pretty. Like I can appreciate a desert. Mm-hmm. I think it's beautiful and like everything else that goes along with it. But the heat is just like, I don't know. I honestly
shade, fans, water, lots of water.
But it gets to the point when you walk outside and you're just like, holy crap! You just get hit with this heat. It's just, and like you had the same complaint about Phoenix. We went out, and Phoenix is a great town too. Like we caught a little glimpse of Tempe.
I need to explore Phoenix more. I haven't spent enough time there to
I think you would love Tempe.
A good opinion.
Tempe was, it's like, there's Arizona State there. There's a lot of, it's kind of Nob Hill-ish, things like that.
I was there, remember?
Yeah, no, I know. And I think there's a lot of really cool pockets of Tempe, just like your friend Kelly was saying.
Yeah.
But we went out with our kids to a splash pad, and we went pretty early. Like we met at 9 o'clock, and I was watching it at 10 o'clock.
We got there at 11.
We got there at 11? Okay. So at 11 o'clock, when we got there, it was 100 degrees. Mm-hmm. And I just felt miserable. Like, the way my biology is set up, I would much rather be in, like, Minneapolis climate than a desert Southwest climate.
I mean, I guess I get that. Like, I like colder temperatures a lot, too. But, like, Palm Springs is, like, the only place that's super hot that I really love. Like, I would say even more than Albuquerque. Like, I don't know. Because here I feel like it gets hot and it's, like, humid. I don't know. Humid hot. Like, today it's very humid. And that brings out the bugs and that brings out the I just don't like it. And I don't know, Palm Springs is like, it's a drier heat that I like drier heat. Like if I'm going to have to deal with a type of heat, I'd rather it be a drier heat than like a humid heat. Mm-hmm. However, I do like Georgia a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely a humid heat.
Yeah.
The whole
Savannah is a city I would tolerate, I would deal with for the humidity. Like that's probably the only one though.
Yeah, the whole East Coast. I mean, last summer, I was in New York City, and you think that it wouldn't get. Oh, it popped. Okay.
Your balloon popped.
I'll hold this one, and you can go. There's more in there.
That's gonna make a bird choke.
Well, I'm gonna clean it up. I'm putting it right there. Okay. Anyways, like, you think that you go far enough north that it's not gonna be that hot, but New York, it was probably like 93, maybe even like 90.
It's also all like concrete and cement.
Yeah, but it was 90. And I remember just thinking, me and my brothers and my dad were just walking around, and you do nothing but walking in New York, and we were all dripping with sweat, just like miserable, like just waiting to take the subway, because the subway cars are air conditioned, and
I
like
help the people that have to sit next to you in the subway.
Yeah, everybody.
On those days.
Everybody else was exactly the same.
One time when I was a kid, I was in Washington, D.C. I think I was like 10. No, I was like 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we were there at the same time.
we were. And it was a summer heat wave in D.C. This was like 1993 or 94, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But the subway broke down. Well, it didn't break down. They had to shut it off in D.C. when we were on it because there was a man running down the tracks.
Mm.
And so we're in like pitch black darkness. This coffee is not hitting me at all this morning, by the way.
Pitch black.
Pitch black, thank you. And it was July. And
Did the lights go off on the car?
Yeah.
I've never heard this.
Yeah, and we were all sweating just standing there waiting for them to like announce on the system.
Did the air conditioning go out?
They had to. Because they had to turn everything off. Because this guy was like, this idiot's like running down the tracks. They were trying to catch him, but I guess they also had officers on the tracks. So it was like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't going to like let it go. And so we sat there for probably 10 minutes in like pitch black darkness in the heat in July in Washington.
And you were
DC.
with your family?
Yes. And it was really bad. I remember it just being so hot and so crowded and terrifying.
Yeah, I bet, as a 5th grader.
Yeah. Oh, our neighbor's putting his umbrella up. He's back.
Yeah. That was the first time I experienced real humidity. Like New Mexico will experience little bits of humidity. Like after a thunderstorm, it'll get high humidity. But what's nice is after a thunderstorm, it's also cool because the rain the rain here is never like warm rain. It's always cool rain.
Right.
Even in the middle of the summer, like that, the rain is very cold, and it cools off the city. Like yesterday, we rolled in, and I think I'm gonna stop using Celsius and feet, just because I think it's dumb, and everybody is like, "What are you talking about?" But yesterday we rolled in. It was 75 degrees.
Hold on. Pause that.
Uh-huh.
Is our bedroom door shut?
Yes.
And locked?
Yes.
Okay. I don't trust our kids. We're home, and now the distrust is back.
So it was 75 degrees. In Palm Springs, it was 113. Phoenix, it was like 112. And it was a welcome bit of information. Like when I looked down on the dashboard, it just rained 75 degrees. I was like, oh, yes. Thank you.
It was crazy. When we were driving back yesterday, too, we hit Gallup, and there was a monsoon, like a really crazy, like, violent monsoon. Like, it was just, not just rain, it was, like, pelting, like, ammo rain. I don't even know. And I had to get out and go to the bathroom at a gas station. Ammo. Like ammunition hitting you.
Oh.
And it was, like, raining hard, and I'm like, okay, I'm from Oregon. I can totally deal with this rain. It's fine. And then the wind kicked up, and it was like, not only was it raining really hard, it was like hitting at these crazy weird angles, like in the face. So I got out of the car and I booked it. Like I booked it into the gas station, and there's all these people standing by the door watching it, and I was like just stunned, and I was like, hello.
I had to go to the back and get some towels because I knew you were going to be soaking because I filled up the gas tank.
I felt like a drowned rat.
And I was out for maybe like, I don't know, 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
But it was crazy because there was that point where that one car, we were driving out of Gallup, and that one car sprayed us. Do you remember? And we couldn't see anything.
For like a second.
I
freaked out,
gone.
actually. I freaked out because they hit a big puddle, almost was like hydroplaning, and they sprayed a bunch of water into our windshield, and I literally couldn't see for like,
it felt
like it was like 1 second maybe.
Yeah.
But it felt like forever.
It felt like we were in a submarine. I was like, okay, no one can see anything. It's super wet out here. Like,
yeah.
And it was just like the drainage in that city is pretty terrible. So it was just like giant puddles and giant like washes of water, and it was just like crazy.
That was the first rain we saw on the whole trip.
No, Denver.
Did we have rain in Denver?
It rained on the 4th of July.
Yeah,
we had a crazy monsoon, which was actually kind of fun too. Like we got ready in Denver with our friends. Like they have this giant block party. Their neighbors are all really friendly. Everybody's out playing. Kids are running around. Barbecues are going. And all of a sudden there's like lightning and thunder, and we see these big black clouds roll in, and it dumped on us for probably an hour. And we were all sitting inside people's garages like, okay, it's the 4th of July. Like, is this what we're going to do? And then it would clear for like 10 minutes, and then another one would roll in and be like, boom. And then finally it like cleared out. But it was kind of an interesting 4th of July weather pattern we had.
Yeah. No, that was pretty, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the rain.
Yeah.
And the food was really good. They had it was like a Polynesian barbecue.
Yeah.
which Mike was telling me that they have a Spam fried rice, and that sounds fantastic. But
Yeah, Denver was a fun and interesting experience.
it was cool just to spend time with our friends.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no.
You're gonna.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I enjoy hanging out with them, and I feel like this time we hung out with them, it was better than the last time.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it's hard to hang out with them
Kids.
with our kids, and I would love to have like a routine, or not even like a routine. Just I would like us as a family to get our shit together.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna say that. Like the time before, it just sucked because I just felt like, oh, you popped another one. Okay, I'll hold it.
Thanks, Juju.
And if I really want to be honest with myself, like our parenting is not top notch sometimes, and when we're in a situation where that's unfamiliar and the kids are unfamiliar, we don't do a great job of making them feel comfortable. We just get pissed off and we lose our shit, and everybody suffers, and it was miserable. The time before, it was miserable. This time was less miserable. There was some moments of misery, but it was better. Like
Way to stay positive.
No, if I want to be honest about.
If I want to be honest, I bought some edibles in Denver, and that helped. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I get it.
Yeah. It's.
By the way, can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say something?
Absolutely. Say something.
I think it's funny. I did observe this in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I just got really not great ones, but like, so I bought these edibles. It was like chocolate, like dark chocolate with pot. And I'm a big fan of the indica strain because it's supposed to like be more mellow. Sativa is more like energizing. I don't know. I think it would just make me paranoid. But if you're going to have an edible, like don't expect it to taste good. Because I'm like, oh, chocolate, that'll be good. And it just tasted like chocolate with weed in it. I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. And then it kind of got me thinking like about all these bakeries that are popping up and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know that would be like good. Like, I mean, let's be real here. If you want to
Well, the whole
do
point
that,
is
then
not.
just do that. But like,
I don't think the point
you
is
don't
to.
need a brownie because it's not going to taste good. I don't
Yeah.
know. Prove me wrong. Somebody prove me wrong. But
No.
I was not impressed by the taste. I was like, I feel like we could work a little more.
I think
on,
the taste is
on
secondary.
that. I know, but it shouldn't be.
Maybe.
I mean, there's a whole culture built around this. Like, it shouldn't be secondary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So. Yeah, I think I did learn. And I told you this a little bit on our way home, but like, I learned a little bit about our dynamic.
What's going on in there?
They're just playing, but our dynamic when we're stuck in a small spot together for long periods of time, and we're in unfamiliar situations, and the kids might be grumpy, and we might be grumpy, and everybody has needs, and we're trying to figure out what those things are and how to meet those needs and all this other stuff. But I'm still trying to piece this together because I observed that our dynamic. I'm not sure. Like I'm still trying to work this out in my head.
Why don't you work it out loud so we can work on it together?
Okay.
'Cause part of our issues are communication.
Yeah.
So
We.
it would make sense that we should communicate
Yeah.
these things instead of just isolating ourselves inside of ourselves and thinking that's going to solve anything. It's not.
Okay. A lot of times I feel like we're dysfunctional.
We are dysfunctional. As are many parents.
Yeah. I would love to just be a fly on a wall with a couple that is not dysfunctional, just to see what works for them.
Everybody's dysfunctional, though. There's no such thing as functional parenting.
But I think there's people who are.
Because kids are unpredictable.
I wonder if we are more dysfunctional than some.
Maybe.
And I wonder, I mean, I'm sure we're less dysfunctional than others, but we are to me, I feel like we're very dysfunctional. We do fine some of the time.
I'm a little resentful that you said that.
You don't, I mean, okay. Why?
Because I feel like parenting in itself is like we've always said, it doesn't come with an instruction manual.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw in the chaos of like a road trip with 3 small kids and like all of these other factors, like being in the car for a long time, and you have like 5 different personalities, and you have 5 different expectations, and
Right.
5 different schedules, and all this stuff. Like, how can anybody be functional in that situation? It's controlled chaos. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And so to call us dysfunctional seems a little insulting to the effort we put forth, because I think we're good parents.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we may not have our shit together all the time, but who does? There are
That's
no
what-
parents that have
I
their
think
shit
that's
together all the time.
I think that's my question. Like, who does?
Nobody.
How do
if
we?
they say they do, they're lying.
How do we know that?
I know that because there is no such thing as like a perfect like parenting scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's had their kid have a crazy diaper blowout at the most inconvenient time.
Yeah.
Everybody's had an argument about warming milk.
Yeah.
Everybody's had an argument about should we potty train, should we not? You're
Yeah.
doing it wrong. Why are you doing it like that?
So I
Like-
guess what the next step for me is, like, I know that a lot of people are dysfunctional, and I liked that first song from that singer. She's talking about how everybody's on their vacation is smiling, and I know that's fake or whatever. Like, that was her whole thing.
K-Flay, I'm
K-Flay.
telling you, she keeps it real.
But no, that's true. I think that I know that not everybody has everything put together, and everybody has their conflict, and everybody has their problems. I'm just front and center on my own, you know what I mean? And like, there were a couple of moments on this trip where there were some explosions. Not even, I don't know, explosions. For the first,
Things came to a head.
yeah.
To a boiling point, if you will.
I think first of which was probably that mountain town in Colorado where we went to the McDonald's, and then there was another one in I think Utah. We did fine, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think Utah we did all right. Vegas, like, we were a little bit bickery at some point, but Vegas was all right too.
Here's the thing, though. I think with Vegas, that's going to be a shit show for anybody that has kids, because
Yeah.
that city is not built for children. I mean, like,
No,
it has
it's not.
activities for kids, but like,
And
if you're trying to have like a normal family date, you're not going to have it in
Yeah.
Vegas. Like,
And I made a mistake.
Accept
Like,
that.
we got there and we checked in. We checked in at the Circus. Hey buddy, what's up?
I go there because there was a lot of people.
Oh,
you
there's a lot
you
of
went
people.
to-
What are you eating?
There's a lot of people.
Are you eating cereal? Okay, go get your
Did you,
balloons.
Riley? Did you have fun in Vegas? You did. Okay.
I need some coffee.
I do too.
Should we pause it or should we?
Let's do a coffee pause because I probably have to like run to the restroom too.
Okay.
I mean, FYI.
All right.
It's all out there today.
Yes. We will be right back. Okay, and we're back. What were we talking about? So, I made a comment about how we're
In Vegas.
in Vegas and how we're dysfunctional, and I think I was outlining the points
You
of
said you made a mistake.
yeah. So my mistake was, so we checked into Circus. Circus was the cheapest hotel I could find, and it wasn't bad. Like, I thought the room was nice.
Yeah, that one was nice.
But it was $20 on, one of those websites or whatever. Vegas, all of the strip hotels have a $34 like resort fee or something. So it ended up being $55, which is whatever. And then when I was there, they're like, well, we have you in the back, like motel, like old Circus motel. Would you like to be upgraded to our tower for another $20? And I was like, well, I mean, I'm in Vegas. When in Vegas. So I did that. But anyways, like, so we were there, and it was the middle of the day. Vegas is hot. And we were like, yeah, let's go get something to eat. Then we'll take the kids swimming. And we'll just do some fun things. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's, I misjudged the strip. I thought Circus was like on like the main part of the strip, like the more centralized, like
geographic. Hi.
Commercial.
I want my cereal.
She wants her cereal.
Her cereal's on the table. Hold this.
It's on the table, Juju. Go get it.
Come here.
So we thought Circus was like on the main strip. I've never stayed there. I don't think Lorenzo has either. And so we completely misjudged like the geographical location. I literally, you guys, I have had not enough coffee today and my mind is not making sense. Geographic location. And the kids are kind of trying to ease into being back too, so. But yeah, so we didn't realize that it's a little bit off the strip, not like it's just further down, right? So it's not as conveniently walkable as we were hoping. So we were like, poor Lorenzo, he brought our hiking backpack because we thought about bringing a double stroller, but those things are huge. Like you cannot nicely and compactly pack a double stroller unless you have like one kid or two kids. Like, well, I guess you'd have to have two. If you had two kids and you were bringing your double stroller, it might make sense. But like a family of 5 with a Honda Pilot full of crap, like you're not going to be able to fit a double stroller. So we were like, well, we'll bring the hiking backpack, And so we're like, Lorenzo's like all geared up. He's got our 3-year-old daughter who's little, thank God, like in the hiking backpack, catching a free ride. And the boys are walking, but it was just not close to anything else.
Yeah, and that was my mistake. I thought that Circus was closer to like. I knew it was further north from like Bellagio fountains, which we wanted to see. We didn't end up seeing them. And like Mandalay Bay, because we wanted to go to the Mandalay Bay Aquarium. I thought it was closer. I thought we could walk.
Yeah.
I thought wrong. And we're walking in this sun. We're walking in the hot heat. Remember that band?
Bandages on my legs and more arms from you.
I wonder if they're from Vegas.
No, they're from Seattle.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I had the CD in high school.
So I had it in college. Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was closer. We were walking, we're baking, and then I start getting a little bit of pressure from you, and so
I get hangry. And then when my kids are hangry and I'm hangry, it's like the shit's about to hit the fan.
I'm gonna pause. Like, okay, I gotta pause.
Somebody's hangry right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're back. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, I get hangry, and then in the heat too. Like, if we're walking, and my kids start giving me pressure, and they're hungry and they're cranky, I'm like, let's go, let's eat wherever. Like, I don't care if there's a spot right there. Let's go to it. Like, I'm done, and they're done, and it's like they put the pressure on me, and then I put the pressure on you.
I just noticed that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So that was our situation as we were walking down the strip. It was go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that's the difference between moms and dads. Like honestly, like there's a maternal pressure with things like that. I'm like, my kids need to eat. Like it's weird. It's like a weird pressure that I feel when when my kids are hungry and tired. It's like mama bear mode.
You're like a sponge to that, and I'm like a hydrophobic duck.
Well, no, but it's like not even something that I think is like a choice for me. It's like I think it goes back to those maternal instincts of like, even like when you're breastfeeding, like, you know, when your baby is hungry and there's this pull inside of you,
like when your
like
breasts start to ache, like when they start crying. That's a thing, right?
Yeah. Like when your baby starts to cry and you're breastfeeding, it's like your body is like, feed your kids now, feed your kids now, feed your kids now. And it's like this.
Your body starts cranking out the milk because when you hear somebody crying.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. And thank God those days are over. I did not like breastfeeding. I'm glad it's done. I don't ever want to do it again. Kudos to all you breastfeeding moms out there. You go. It's not for me. But I'm glad it's for you. And keep doing what you're doing. No, seriously. It's not for everybody, and that's okay.
That's fine.
And if you are.
Not what we're talking about. Good.
Awesome. But no, it's like that maternal instinct of like, I need to feed my children. It's like it's like a maternal drive that happens, I think. And it's like I feel this pressure, and then it's like, it's not like I don't know how to explain it. It's not like I have this logical, well, we can do this or this. It's like my maternal instinct kicks in, and I'm like, I need to feed my children now they're hungry. And it's like this just intense feeling of like needing to provide that for them right now. It's very weird.
Yes. And I handle those situations very differently. I'm totally fine with having the kids skip lunch. Like, I don't even think lunch is even that important of a meal. I've had them skip lunch before, and they're usually fine. Like, here's what's funny about Juliet. She will nap at about 11 o'clock. And if she's going to nap, I'm like, dude, get it done so I can have a little bit of peace.
Yeah.
And then when she wakes up, she'll have a snack.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care. And then you're like, we have to give her lunch before the nap. I'm like, okay. And I just kind of go with it.
It's just something about, I feel like that's like a maternal survival mode that maybe moms go into. Yeah. I don't know. Even in Vegas, like I was like, it's so hot. Like, it's so hot. These kids need to be inside. They need air conditioning and water and food. Like,
Mom, see this?
Yeah, what is it? He's
Yeah.
holding his fist. Give him little chunky little fingers.
hey,
That's okay. He's little. Then what's up? Oh, what happened? Oh, his knuckle.
what happened?
What happened? Let me kiss it. Okay. Now go watch Wonka.
I need a Band-Aid. Is there blood in my finger?
Yeah, but it's okay because you're a tough guy. I'll get you a
Yeah,
Band-Aid here
your
in a minute.
finger's okay. It's
Okay.
fine. It doesn't need a Band-Aid. It's fine, honey.
Okay.
A kiss is perfect.
Go on. He's growing up.
Yeah. I think he grew a lot on this trip alone. He's
Yeah.
like huge.
Yeah. So we had a bit of conflict out of love to. So this is what I do, and this is what I was trying to get to before we had a parenting and a coffee pause.
Okay.
I feel like we're dysfunctional a lot of the times. Sometimes I feel like we're more dysfunctional than most. We are learning how to understand each other. Like we know. Okay, so here's what I think. We know how each other operates, but we are not accepting of that quite yet. Like you know how I operate, and it's hard for you to accept that.
It's just wrong, though.
And I know how you operate, and it's hard for me to accept that.
Yeah.
One thing that I also am learning, and it's not like a bad thing, I'm learning how to just tell you outright in the middle of our conflict, just telling you I'm wrong. That's okay. I can be loud. It's our house.
I know. Just the neighbors probably don't want to hear about how dysfunctional we are.
If they're hearing us, subscribe to our podcast, please, on iTunes. I'll try to be quiet. I'm sorry.
You just talk really loud.
Well, so do you. Oh, wait. Okay, I thought I stopped recording. Anyways, in the middle of our conflict, in the middle of whatever argument it is, I'm just trying to learn how to say, I'm wrong about this. And that's hard a lot of the times. We also had, I think the frequency of our blowouts started to happen more as we were heading home. I think we were done. Both of us love road trips. I know that. I love exploring. I feel like I'm a sailor on the seas of America or something.
Okay.
navigating the
Get you a little sailor hat.
navigating the road. Anyways, I like road trips.
Are you guys in the room?
Yes, we are in the middle of something right now. Thank you, buddy.
But as it started to close out, we started to have a little bit more conflict. We were like a little bit at each other, a bit more.
I'm going to say something right now, and I'm going to say it on the podcast because I need to.
Okay.
And this is something that...
Is it about me?
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe this is something other husbands or boyfriends or whoever can take with a grain of salt and understand. We had a blowout yesterday morning. We were having breakfast at Taco Bell. Bruh.
Which their breakfast is all right.
It's actually pretty good. And it's not crowded. And anyway, it was nice because we got in with the kids. It wasn't a big ordeal, all that cheap. So I am doing a podcast right now with my brother.
It's called What's Up ABQ.
Can somebody get me popcorn?
No, not right now.
We're not having popcorn right now, buddy.
I haven't had popcorn in 2 weeks.
That's not true. You had popcorn on the vacation.
If you
go inside.
If you can wait 20 minutes, I'll get you some popcorn. Just
Okay,
go.
Google. Set a timer for 20 minutes.
Why is he so technical?
I don't know.
He did not get that for me.
Sorry if your Googles have a timer set for 20 minutes right now. Anyways, go ahead.
In 20 minutes, make yourself some popcorn. But no, so... Okay.
I'm not pausing.
What?
It's not paused.
I know, it's fine. I'm just going to keep talking. Apparently, our Google is playing Jeff's music at full blast now. I don't know. Okay, then. But yeah, so Lorenzo had made a comment about how my podcast doesn't make real money. And that... No, hold on. No, hold
you're
on.
flipping it a little bit, though.
No, I'm not. That's exactly what you said.
Can I say what I said? So you have schedules for your podcast interview, like your interviews. And I'm scheduled to work with my dad doing surveying.
Why do I not get to finish my thought?
No, but I know, but you...
But you're steamrolling me.
I'm not steamrolling you because you said...
Okay, mansplain it to everybody, please.
I'm not mansplaining.
Okay.
Okay, so just listen. You said that I told you that you're not making real money. The comment was, and maybe it's half a dozen of one. What is that saying? Who cares? I said, I'm going to be working with my dad making real money. That's what I said. And I have to make real money.
That's not what you said.
Oh, okay.
You said that my podcast doesn't make any real money. It's not real money. And that hurt a lot because I have always felt this tension when it comes to the other podcast with you. And I get that it takes up my time and my energy, but it's something that I care about. And I'm at a point in life where I am privileged and able enough to stay home with our kids and finally commit to something that I actually want to do, that I enjoy doing. And eventually I hope it will make me real money. But the comment really hurt. And I know that a lot of men don't understand that women, especially moms, and I'm just going to say this because this needs to be said, especially moms, like we are home with our kids and we are giving up a lot of what makes us ourselves. And so if we can find a passion in something that we enjoy, like don't insult it or belittle it, even if you're not meaning to. Sometimes the way men view things is like, oh, I make money, I have a job, I pay the bills, blah blah blah, and that's fine. That's fine.
So what happened 20 minutes later? Like how?
Hold on.
How did I correct that problem?
Hold on.
Okay.
Can I finish?
Yes, finish.
I know that a lot of times women have these things that you think men are hobbies or cute little hobbies or fun little side projects. But like, don't belittle those things, because if your wife or girlfriend is passionate about something and they're good at it and they put their time into it, eventually it can make money. It's not going to happen right away.
Mommy, my cereal is ruined.
Your cereal's ruined.
I'll get you something else. Okay.
She looks so
Continue
cute
on
when
that.
she says that. It's frustrating because I think a lot of women are forced into these spots in life where we are home and we give up a career sometimes, or we give up our time, or we give up our energy, or we do what we have to do to provide for our family, but it's not necessarily what we want to be doing. And I think men sometimes feel a little more justified in, because they make a lot of like the income, they feel justified in their habits and their hobbies, which is fine too. You deserve to have fun things and things you like to do and things you're passionate about. Like, do those things. That's good for everybody. It's good for your mental health. But like, you know, if your wife or girlfriend is like selling stuff on eBay and that's like what she's passionate about, let her do it and don't give her shit for it. If she's good at it, like let it see what it can be. Let it grow. And it just hurts when you hear those comments like, oh, what you're doing isn't viable. Or, oh, that's a cute little project. And you're just like, no.
Can I give some context?
Go ahead.
First of all, and most importantly, I am proud of you. And I want to support you. And I think that what you're doing is awesome and you're doing good work. And I told you all of these things. You left out that.
I was going to let you speak for yourself, Lorenzo. I wasn't trying to leave it out. I'm going to let you speak for yourself.
I know, but it's different when your wife says it. Kudos to my husband. Like he said this after it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like, I don't want to belittle you. I said something in the moment when I was upset and angry, and we were having some conflict over schedules for like a week. And I absolutely support you, and I absolutely am proud and like of everything that you do, and it's not less important than what I'm doing or more important than what I'm doing. Like, and I told you all of these things. So in that moment, in the Taco Bell, we were on our way home. It was like the last breakfast. It was like the last meal.
It's like the last
supper
in the Taco Bell.
Before we went home. So automatically the discussion is like, well, this next week, what's going on? And you're like, next week I have root canal and I have these.
Yeah, super excited about that, by the way.
And I have these interviews. And I don't know, I just felt like the expectation was like, you got to be home all week.
I didn't even say that. I was just letting you know what I had on the plate.
And then my next go-to was like, okay, well, I'll see if my mom can watch the kids while these are happening because I'm going to be working. And then your comment was, well, I've had these planned for 2 weeks, and you need to be home with the kids. So then that's where
I didn't say you need to be.
Well,
home
so
with the
there
kids.
there was some comments about like I've had this planned, like, and you just sprung on me that you're gonna be working like yesterday, and I've had these planned for 2 weeks. So you need to figure you just need to be home. Something.
I didn't say that at all.
Okay, well, it was something along those lines, right?
No, but
okay.
Whatever.
Anyways, there was some conflict, and both of us started to get upset and angry, and then you dropped your potatoes. Your little egg bowl thing.
I was shaking. I was so upset. I was shaking, and
You're upset at Luke.
Luke was acting like a shit
because he didn't want anything there. All he ate was a hash brown.
He was being a pain in the rear. He was cranky
he's
and whiny.
super picky about food, and it's.
And I was like shaking because I was so irritated and angry, and I shook so hard that I knocked my potatoes off the table, and that was just like, okay, cool.
But anyway, like I do want to support like your art and your jewelry and your podcast. That's a beautiful butterfly that just flew by. I want to support all of those things. So I hope that's clear, even though that in the moment of conflict, like me and you both say things that are mean and degrading and hurtful. And like when you're angry at somebody, the point is to say something that is going to cut, right? Mm-hmm. We both do that. We're both guilty of that.
I feel like I've just been like, there's a lot of really good things happening for me right now. And I see some things coming together that I've waited a long time to come together, and I want to do those things, and I'm just trying to figure out how to manage my life to make those things happen.
Yeah.
And I need support because, these kids aren't going to watch themselves. And so I'm just trying to balance that, and I'm excited though. I'm excited for what's coming. I got an opportunity to maybe have a little small like retail space for my jewelry, which would be excellent, and I think it's doable. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm ready to like step into the next phase for some things, but I need support, and it's just like, it makes you doubt yourself when your partner or people close to you kind of make you feel like what you're doing isn't a priority or shouldn't be, Yeah.
No, I get that. And I want to be supportive, and I think as being in a relationship, like, you want that support on both ends. Like, you want to give the support to your spouse, but on the flip side, you badly need that support as well. You know, some of the things that like cut me the most is when you're just like, oh, you're daddling in school, or like we've had to like adjust our lifestyle for your dreams, and you know, like when you say things like that cuts, and that hurts me.
But is that untrue? I mean, it's that kind of stuff is not meant to cut you. It's just sort of a fact. Like,
well,
you know, you went back to school, and that has implications on our family.
Well, I mean, I want to support you in whatever it is that you're doing.
Okay.
And I want the same sort of support. But it, like, when you need support and you get the opposite of what support is,
yeah, it
hurts even more.
Yeah.
Like, you want support in what you're doing, and like which knowing that what you're doing matters, and knowing that your spouse.
I want to train things in Juju's room.
Go in there, and we'll put it on in 20 minutes, okay?
When the timer
goes off. Knowing that what you do matters, and that your spouse not only is supporting you, but telling you that what you're doing is matters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when I hear the opposite, it's just like, wow. It like takes the air out of you, and like you just like have this sinking feeling. You're just like, oh.
So I think what I've learned, I'm going to speak for myself and not for you.
You can speak for me.
I don't want to speak for you because you're your own person. I don't need to.
Well, you can. Maybe we are doing this together.
Okay. What I think is important is that we need to, and I've said this a lot, but we need to reiterate to each other that we find each other's interests and needs valuable and heard. We also need to communicate those things, because I think half the time there's a lot of assumptions being made without actual communication going on.
Yeah, assumptions are the worst, I think.
Yeah, you know what they say.
What?
About assuming.
Yeah.
Stupid, that was a dad joke.
They're checking on the timer.
Oh my gosh. But the other thing is, like, I mean, we say it all the time on the podcast, but like, you have to like intentionally make time for each other to sit down and have a conversation without distraction and without kids. And I know that it sounds mean, but like today, I'm gonna ask Lorenzo's parents if the kids can come over this afternoon.
Talk to me, because this isn't. I want to be a part of this. No, like this is really important. Like I want to hear you. What is he doing?
I don't know.
He's playing in the dirt. That's fine.
So, like, today, I want to ask your mom and dad, because they were telling us, oh, we missed the kids. I want to see if they will watch the kids this afternoon for a little bit. And I don't care if we run errands. I don't care if we sit here and talk. I don't care if we have coffee or we don't. Like, I
want to go to that Mexican place that we went to where they had the chilada.
La Reforma?
Yes.
Let's go.
That place is
I'm down.
Amazing. Shout out to that place.
Yeah.
Lindsay and Ryan's podcast is going to do an interview, hopefully. I mean, is that okay to say that?
Yeah, no, I got the email from the guy actually.
Does he want to do an interview?
Yeah, his name is Jeff. So if you're in the Albuquerque area, go check out La Reforma.
Shout out, man. That place, like,
they're killing it.
We have some good spots in Albuquerque, and that's what I love about your guys' podcast, is that you guys are showcasing this.
Yeah.
You told me that you were kind of self-conscious about, or maybe it was your brother or you or both or whatever, like, that you guys weren't talking a whole lot. But that's what I love about that, is like you are just like the conversation starter,
and you're letting the facilitator. I don't want to take over their story.
You're letting them talk about what their passion is.
Right.
And that place, it's in the old Bosque. It's on the old Bosque tap room off of San Mateo and Alameda. Mm-hmm. But their beers were really good, and the food. Their theme is like a street, like a Mexico
food.
City.
It's like Mexico City themed street food. It is so good. I was actually talking to the owner when we went in there the first time, and I mentioned that I had a podcast, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And he brought out like a sampler.
A whole flight. It was a flight.
Yeah, a flight of beer for us to try. And totally like footed the bill, and I'm like, dude, you did not have to do this. And he's like, no, you can tell he's passionate about what he does. Mm-hmm. He went through each beer with us, kind of talked about the influence and what it should taste like and what it pairs with.
Yeah.
So anyway, shout out to Jeff at La Reforma. Awesome stuff. Keep doing what you're doing. We're gonna interview him actually really soon. He got back to me when we were on the road, so I am really excited to set that up. I can't wait.
Yeah, good stuff. But
what I was saying is, we need to make time for each other. We need to sit down and have a conversation without distraction. I know it's hard sometimes to get that time with just your partner.
we both have passions. We both have there are some things that we love to do. Some of those things don't overlap, but some of them do. For example, I would love to go snowboarding sometime. The problem for me is lift tickets have gotten insanely expensive.
Somebody buy this man a lift ticket.
And also my gear is like 10 years old. Yes. My phone
Your
ringing?
phone is ringing.
I don't care.
Okay.
My gear is 10 years old. I would be like, I don't know. Anyways, like I haven't gone snowboarding in 10 years because I've put that aside for family, which is fine. Like I'm not sad about the sacrifice, but I would love to go snowboarding this year.
Sucks is I've always wanted to learn how to snowboard. I just have really bad knees.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go hardcore and like jump off of rocks or like jump out of a helicopter. Like you can.
I mean, I would love that.
You can do pretty simple stuff. Like we have Sandia right here, and if they get snow, like it's fun. But there's certain things that I love to do. Most of the things that I love to do are outside. That's why Palm Springs would not be a fit for me because I would melt.
They have a lot of really good hiking in Indian Canyon.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hiking, but
Indian
like in the city itself, I just can't deal with 115. But I like to go running. I like to ride bikes. You've mentioned whitewater rafting. I would love to.
Love whitewater rafting.
I would love to figure that out.
You know what's funny is I always think, oh, I want to do that for my birthday, and I'm like, oh yeah, my birthday's in November. So maybe like in the summer we can go, not for my birthday.
Yeah, I love to go. Like, there's a bunch of these short little hikes that are all around town. Like, I don't know, Tent Rocks. They have these slot canyons. It's just beautiful, and it's not 115. It might get hot. It might be like 90 or 95. And those are some things that are hard for you to handle. And that might be a part where our interests are not overlapping. I like to take the kids on those little trips. It's classical music. They're playing it on the speaker. And then some of the things that you like to do, I don't know, like...
Well, like I really want to enjoy more of the arts in my city. Like I want to go to more galleries. I know that sounds snobby as hell, but like
I like that. Actually.
That's something that I can't do with kids. It's not that I wouldn't. It's just that I don't think they're old enough to like really appreciate it for what it is. When they're older, I would love to take them. Mm-hmm. But like I want to go up to Canyon Road in Santa Fe and check out all the galleries. I've never done that. Mm-hmm. I want to check out the more contemporary galleries here in Albuquerque. We have a ton of art. Like there's so many things I want to do artistically. I really, really want to get more integrated into the art community and just see what there is here. Mm-hmm. I like live music. I know you don't think I do. It's just not in the same context that you do.
You mean the same genre?
Yeah, I mean, I actually like going to the Launchpad. I really like that venue.
You're going to see a lot of, pretty, maybe some touring bands, but like some punk. They book a lot of punk and like
I would much rather see an outdoor venue or like the Launchpad than like the Sunshine Theater. The Sunshine Theater to me is just a shit show. It's just crowded. It's gross. I don't like it.
Sunshine is like our mid-sized venue, and I like the history behind the Sunshine Theater. The building is really cool. It's an older building. It's just like the acoustics aren't that great.
Well, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to talk about all that right now, but like... No, but I mean, like, there's just places in town I want to check out. I want to do, like, urban exploring with you. Yeah. And, like, there's restaurants. I want to go to the Whiskey Speakeasy. Yeah. I love whiskey, and I think that concept is really cool, and I would love to see how they do it in Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. There's just, like, so many things I want to do. I want to go horseback riding. I want to go to Ghost Ranch. I want to go to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. I've never done that. There's a lot I want to do, but it's just not always, like... Mm-hmm. appropriate for our kids' age right now. Yeah. And so that's where I'm stuck. It's like... I think
it's a bird egg.
It's not a bird egg. This is a pinon nut. It's from a pinon tree.
Pinon tree?
A pinon
Probably
tree.
that one over there. Yep.
So I want to do those things too. Those things are harder for me to deal with because those things cost money and I love to do them. Like, for example, shout out Sister Bar. They have amazing freaking tacos, and they have these like tater tot things
I want to go see
that
a
are really
show
good. Like
at Meow Wolf.
the kimchi tater tots at Sister Bar are freaking amazing.
They are good.
Yes, and I would like to go to a concert at Meow Wolf in Santa Fe too. That's hard to arrange, because of the kids.
Yeah, but it's not impossible.
No.
And the other thing that's kind of cool is like we have this little trailer now. It's a 57 Siesta. It's gutted. It's painted. Thank you, Stephanie. My sister-in-law painted it while we were away. She likes to paint. I picked the color, and she's like, I love painting. I'll do it. And I'm like, thank you so much. It's painted. It's got everything working. I just need to do the flooring. I'm really excited. Like, I want to take that trailer on some adventures. Like, I want to take it out. I want to just see New Mexico in that trailer. I would love to take a weekend and go with you and just spend the night in the trailer, the two of us, and like check out something cool we've never seen before. I mean, we can literally sleep anywhere.
Oh, it was your grandma.
My grandma.
Mom, I found a wild seed.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay. Huh. My grandma called. Okay.
Yeah.
I will call her
She
back.
called twice, actually. She called yesterday. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll call her in a minute. We're
Okay.
on a podcast right now.
All right. Cool.
We're podcasting right now.
All right.
Oh, can I say something fun too?
Sure.
Actually, I wanted to ask a question, and this kind of ties in. I wanted to know what your what your favorite thing about this trip was, and something you learned about, or just something you learned about, maybe about us or traveling or just the place we
So
went.
the road trip was totally worth it. It was hard. There were. Hey, Luke, can you go turn off the timer, please?
Yeah, can you make popcorn?
It set a timer for 5 minutes. Turn this one off. Set a timer for 5 minutes, and I'll make
You
popcorn.
said 20 minutes.
I know.
We meant 25.
We meant 25.
Okay, Google.
He looks so defeated.
So, the road trip was worth it. The road trip was hard. 2 weeks and about, and I'm going to say the kilometers because I was recording kilometers. Now I'm moving to metric. I think I'm moving to imperial. Anyways, we traveled a lot. 4,000 kilometers. 4,000 kilometers in the car together, spending time with friends, with family. We didn't really meet any new people except for at the pool at
Yes,
Palm
we
Springs.
did.
Did we?
I met my biological half-sister.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
In Phoenix. I got to have dinner with my sister, which was cool. Her name is also
I didn't know if we were
Lindsay.
mentioning that. So.
Yeah, we're mentioning that.
Okay, cool.
Which is great. I really like her.
Yeah, she was great.
We share a parent, so I'm glad we like each other.
She was really nice.
She was very nice.
It was insane. There were fights. There wasn't as much like good nurturing conversation as I would have liked, but I think we learned a lot about each other. It was worth it in that like we gave this experience to our kids, and I don't think they're ever going to forget it. We didn't have to go to Legoland. We didn't have to go to Disneyland. We didn't have to go to any resort like any sort of like
we didn't have
amusement
to
parks.
pay like a hefty price tag to
Yeah.
like have a good time.
We went to this beach off. It was close to Laguna Beach, but there's a pirate tower there. It's hidden.
It's called Victoria Beach.
It's Victoria Beach.
Laguna Beach.
The waves were huge, and I think partially that was, the weather.
Yeah.
But partially that the way that beach is shaped, the waves are just naturally big.
It's a cove.
Yeah.
It's more or less a cove. Yeah.
It was beautiful. Like, I don't know. The memories that we had were great, and I feel the best part of our. And I know this is not answering your question, but
No, I
the
think
best
this
part
is-
are the memories and the things that I've learned just about marriage, and like just reflecting on just being married with 3 young kids and the challenges, and like I learned about a little bit about myself, a little bit more about you. That bird is really loud. What kind of bird is that?
Anyway,
Sorry.
focus.
I'm sorry. I feel like it was completely. I don't know. It was a good experience. But the best part, like what you're asking, I think that even though our kids were not acting the best, was going back to the Laguna Hills courthouse where we got married and just kind of seeing that again. I have not been there in 10 years
Yeah.
to that exact spot. It hasn't changed much. The actual building, like I remember the palm trees, and I remember that little courtyard, little spot there.
The fountain.
The fountain is still there. Taking those pictures and being there with our kids, that was, I think, sentimentally like the best part of the trip.
It was weird to reflect on that because I remembered all the feelings that I had driving there for the first time when we were going to get married, like came back. I remembered them. Like the minute we pulled in that parking lot, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember exactly how I felt 10 years ago today. Like when I was like, not today, but like 10 years ago when I was coming here to get married, I remember the feeling. It's fresh. Like I remember being so nervous, but excited and happy. And then like, just like, totally terrified at the same time.
Right? No, I felt the same way. I was sure at the time, like when we were going on, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like there was no looking back for me. Like once we had decided, like even on our way to California from Albuquerque, I was sure. Like there was no doubt in my mind. Like I'm getting married to you. Like I was not going to back out. Like that wasn't even like a thought. I don't know. Even though like maybe I was scared. There were some pictures of us that we look back and
we look terrified.
We look
like,
totally,
what have we done? What did we just do? Whoa, did we just do this?
Maybe not even that, just like what is, like this is a big deal. Like I don't know.
But you know what? In the words of Frank Sinatra, we did it our way. I did it my way. You did it your way. We did it our way. Okay. And that worked for us. And like, I think if we had done it any other way, it wouldn't have been us.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. So Laguna Hills will always be an important part of our family history.
You know what's kind of funny about that? Just a side note.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Laguna Hills. Do you guys like love Laguna Hills?" I'm like, "No, literally, we've never been there. It was like the fastest courthouse where I could get a marriage certificate."
Yeah.
I Googled it in California, and that one was the quickest turnaround time. I had to wait a week and a half, and so I filed for it the day we decided to get married, and then a week later we were there getting married. Yeah. So like. It
just worked out.
It was just the fastest one. It wasn't like I have a thing for Laguna Hills.
3 more minutes.
And it just happened to be really beautiful and really convenient and where we were going.
It was close to a beach.
So
when we were passing through, your grandparents actually gave us a nice check, like a wedding gift, which was okay. Go, yeah.
You can make the popcorn. Turn off the timer.
Okay, Google.
Your grandparents gave us a check, like a wedding gift check, and like
they didn't just give us a check. It was like they gave us the gift of having a really nice marriage, and like we had a really nice honeymoon night.
Like they were congratulatory. Congratulatory? I don't know.
Yeah.
They were just like happy for us, which a lot of people were just like shocked.
I kept getting asked, like, "Are you pregnant? Are you guys pregnant?" And I'm like, "No, like literally we just want to get married. Like we feel like it's the right thing to do. Like we're ready. We're both tired of dating. We're both tired of being like in this spot in life. We're happy with each other, and like why would we not? It just makes sense right now."
They weren't shocked. They were just really supportive. We stayed at their house. I drink a natural light with your grandpa. They gave us a bag of lemons that were gigantic
from their tree. They have a lemon tree.
So anyways, yeah. Southern California it's
now a special spot on our map. Personally, it didn't have any significance before, but it does now.
And also just the Pacific Ocean to me is just a beautiful.
That was the only prerequisite I ever had for a wedding, was like
Pacific Ocean.
I want to be on the beach somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's what we did. We got married and we went to Laguna Beach. We stayed at a hotel in Huntington.
Yep.
But the Pacific Ocean.
And we would not have been able to do that without my grandparents.
Yeah. So, my favorite part of this journey would have to be, even though it was short and there was some conflict because I made another mistake getting us to the wrong beach. Okay. We rode the trolley. Anyways, like would be just being at the beach the short time that we were there, and the waves almost washed our kids away, but it was still.
And we grabbed them. We got them.
It was still good. What was your favorite part? And I'm gonna get Luke some.
Sure. I have a lot of favorite parts. Like there was a lot of different things that really are memorable for me. I think, I don't know. Just seeing people I love, like along this trip, Like, I got to see my old roommate, Kelly, who lives in Phoenix. I got to see my bio dad. I got to see my biological sister and meet her. That was really cool. You know, my friends Mike and Jenna in Denver. Like, my grandparents, I got to go to Palm Springs and see my grandparents too for a little bit. So just seeing people that I love, like, along the way is just always a really nice feeling. It's a really beautiful feeling when you're like, I'm so loved and I have all these people that I love and they're scattered across all over the place. And I'm so lucky that I get to see them. Like, that really made it for me. I think my other favorite part was watching my kids' faces, like, just experiencing these new experiences, like in Las Vegas, like watching my 7-year-old be like, what in the holy shit is this? Like, I mean, excuse the French, but seriously, like, watching my kids' faces when they were like introduced to a new experience was really cool. You know, just in Las Vegas, like, watching their faces, like with the tram and all the lights and all the big buildings, and they're just looking around like, where are we?
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then I learned that saguaro cactuses take 75 years to grow one arm, which I think is the coolest thing. After I figured that out, like, I was looking at all of them in total awe.
Did you see the picture I took?
I'm like, this is amazing. These are so old. Like, why do we not pay more attention to stuff like this?
Yeah. I'll post,
You know?
the picture I took in Arizona, but there's a cactus that we stopped in I think it's the Tonto National Forest.
It's the Tonto National Forest, basically.
But yeah, I took a picture of a cactus that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 11 arms.
That is insane, you guys. Think about that.
They're old.
That thing is old. Like, these cacti have seen some stuff. And, like, it's just amazing to me. Like,
So
I
what
had
was your
no
favorite
idea.
part?
I just said it. You were in there.
Oh,
No, just seeing people that we love all across our journey,
Okay.
and seeing people that matter a lot.
Maybe that's what I should have said.
No, that's fine. And like,
I appreciate our friends in Denver that are always welcoming, even though we bring the chaos.
no, just seeing people that we love, and also just seeing our kids' faces with, like, the new experiences. And, like, being a little more lax, being able to be more lax and be like, yeah, let's swim. You know, in the morning. It's Palm Springs. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
You guys want to swim? Let's swim. You know?
We wanted to make it up to Wyoming on this one, but maybe next time
next
with
time.
the trailer. We could do a trailer up there.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to take back roads, though, because our trailer is pretty... Anyways, that's a side note.
Okay, so what are you listening to?
So I just discovered last night. This is why I like social media. This is the good part about social media. One of my favorite bands from back in the day is a band called Thrice. The singer's name is Dustin Kensrue. The drummer's name is Riley, and that's where I got the idea for Kensrue. The drummer's name is Riley, or maybe it's the bassist.
It doesn't matter. Let's just...
Anyways, that's where I got the idea for Riley's name.
Tiger one.
Oh, that's a tiger one. That's cool.
It popped.
Oh no, I'll blow it up for you, okay? Go finish your movie. We're almost done. But he was talking about this band. I think they're Scottish, and they're called Las Vegas. You want me to play a little sample?
If you want.
But they're kind of... The way he described it was 50s chord progression, sort of like punk rock. But to me, it sounds like Scottish, like rockabilly. It's weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, I started listening to it, and I want to start getting into that.
Cool.
But that's the music I'm getting into. As far as books, Lindsay and I were listening to a really cool book about Egyptian women.
It's called When Women Ruled the World. It's about how in history there were females who took the places of pharaohs, and they were erased mostly from history because they're women. But it is fascinating. Basically, they were placeholders for royal heirs. So
Right.
it talks about 5 different female pharaohs and what their situation was politically, why they were the placeholders for other pharaohs, what was going on to where they had to be the interim ruler of Egypt, and why they were allowed to do that. really fascinating stuff, and you can find it on Libby or
Hoopla.
Hoopla. Yeah. So we were listening to that. Really interesting book, like really fascinating. I'm also listening to Mindy Kaling's book, Why Not Me? That's kind of a girly book, I think.
I had one more that I wanted to say.
Okay, sorry.
So I'm listening to 2 other books, like as you were napping or with your headphones on. I was listening to Brief Answers to Big Questions from Stephen Hawking, and then the other one was The Universal Christ.
You mentioned that last time.
Richard Rohr. Well, I
have a Richard Rohr obsession.
This book, I had a hold on it forever, and I just look, 5 people waiting for this book.
Yeah.
Like I have to finish it.
Yep.
But anyways, like I was waiting for a long time to get this book,
Mm-hmm.
and it just the hold it checked it out for us just as the trip started. So I haven't listened to it. I hadn't listened to it previously, but I'm listening to that now. So yeah. Anyways, what else are you listening to?
Well, Kay Flay has a new album. I had mentioned that. I love her anyway. I think her lyrics are super raw and honest, and I love her. So we checked out her new album. Can you find the title? Because I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Kay Flay?
Yeah, I can't remember what the title is. It just like hit media like 2 days ago. So it's fresh. It's new. Really good stuff. Very poppy for her taste. Usually she's a little more somber, a little more angsty.
Is it
Solutions? Yes. Okay, so it's Kay Flay, and the album is called Solutions. It's super good. I like it a lot. It's definitely kind of venturing out from her normal
That first track,
sound.
I like that. I like myself
But it's good.
most of the time. Yeah.
But it's good. I appreciate her honesty. So that's what I've been listening to.
This is the album that you put on my...
Yeah, I usually listen to Everywhere is Somewhere. That's the album I love. That's the more angsty,
Everywhere is Somewhere.
kind of raw one.
Yeah.
That's the album that made me fall in love with her music. So yeah.
Kristen Meredith Flattery. Kay Flay.
Yeah.
So, cool.
So yeah, that's what I'm listening to. And then like I said, Mindy Kaling's book, Why Not Me? I
had a hard time with that one.
It's a book for women. It's a women's book. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be
She's
real.
talking about like beauty secrets and all this other stuff, and
It's very tongue in cheek about Hollywood. It's very sarcastic about
she's kind
Hollywood.
of Valley Girl the way she talks, and I don't know, I have a hard time.
Yeah, but it is funny. If you're a female and you like her sense of humor and the way she kind of dissects things around her, you'll enjoy the book. So yeah, that's what I've been listening to. Music wise, just kind of been rotating through. We started listening to Lord Huron, Strange Trails on our trip again. Always a good album. Always one we fall back on when we don't know what to listen to. Never gets old. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. And we started watching Stranger Things together, season 3.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Super good. Mm-hmm. I like season 3.
No spoilers here, but
I like it.
I'm pretty excited to finish it. So
I do like
I
it.
could have probably binged all night watching it last night.
Yeah,
we were on the third
stayed
episode,
The
and we were
latest
like,
we've stayed up in a long time.
we were like, do you just want to do another one? Just want to do another one.
Yeah.
We're not done yet, so don't tell us what happens.
Yeah. So, anyways,
We should probably make sure our kids aren't burning the
Yeah.
house down.
don't forget to check out Lindsay and Ryan's podcast, What's Up ABQ.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Spotify, Google, Apple, all of those places.
It is sponsored by Anchor, so it comes out across a bunch of different platforms. It just takes time. We are on iTunes. We're on Stitcher, if you listen there, and a few other ones. I believe we're on Pocket Cast now.
Pocket Cast, yeah. I could talk about podcasts if you wanted to, but anyways.
No,
yeah.
because one of my friends, Danny, was like, hey, it's not on here. I can't find it. And then I think he said he found it. So
yeah, it takes. So what happens is like once it drops on Apple Podcasts, it takes a day or two for it to get to like Pocket Casts and Castbox and all the other ones, because what they do is they feed off of Apple's
server.
not their server, but it's an RMS feed.
Yeah.
And it takes a bit for it to go in there, but it's there.
Well, I keep getting emails saying like, your podcast is now available on this platform. And I'm like, okay.
See, and I have it here.
So
yeah, the CrossFit one is up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Rio Grande CrossFit.
Yeah, so check it out.
It's our first interview.
Yeah.
The next episode, just a little spoiler in case you care, is going to be about New Mexico beer with a guy who does. He's actually a professional beer taster, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I'm gonna cue the music, but you guys have it good. Oh wait, Luke wanted us to shout out his YouTube videos. But I'm not posting. I record my kid, but I don't like posting it on the internet, so I would just record it and I make it a private channel. But anyways, Luke wanted us to say that. So you guys have a weekend, and we will talk to you on the next one. Bye.